Welcome back to our listening experience number 22, the pipe organ. Many of you have seen these in churches and other places around the world. Let's learn a little bit about them. There's a few pieces of terminology you have to know. One set of pipes. That means one pipe for every key on the keyboard is called a rank. So the one on the screen here probably has about 25 ranks of pipes. That's pretty normal. Each pipe produces only one pitch. So you can have, 20 different ranks, but that means you have to tell the organ console, where all the keys are that you play, have to tell the air which set of pipes it goes into, or sometimes multiple at the same time. But each individual pipe only produces one pitch. Tuning a pipe organ can take months, depending on how large it is. Speaking of that, the world's largest functional pipe organ is located in Wanamaker's department store in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I actually went there a few years ago and got to see that organ in action. It's amazing. The thing's like 5 stories tall. I forget, it's something like 540 ranks of pipes. It's a ludicrous amount. It's actually built into the building, and it's a working Macy's. So on the bottom level, where you walk in from the street, is the shoe department. So while you're listening to they call them noon tunes, the principal organist from the Philadelphia Orchestra comes and plays a concert every day from 12 to 12:30. People just in there shopping for shoes or whatever else you buy at Macy's. And there's this world-class organ concert going on. It's really impressive. The earliest predecessor back into the time of the Greeks was called a hydraulis. And it was actually, it used water to produce the sound somehow. I'm not sure how it worked, but the keyboard on a pipe organ, each keyboard is called a manual. So those are the ones that look like a piano keyboard. They can have, most pipe organs have 2 or 3. Then you have another set that you play with your feet. That's called the pedal board. That's different. So you got to play, you can play, 3 different things at the same time. I think an octopus would be the best at this. But the pedal board it's pretty impressive to watch an organist play on one of these. I get to do an Easter gig in Spokane every year, and where I stand to play trumpet, I'm right next to the organist. So I get to watch her do her magic on the pedal board. It's amazing. There are these little knobs that you pull out. They're called stops. And the way you get specific sounds and get so much variety out of a pipe organ is you combine these different stops, and that just tells the air which set of pipes or which rank to go through. We call that registration. The specific sounds that you want to get, like you might want to have, this particular set for this part of the song, and then you can push a button and it'll go to this other set for a different part of the song to get a different feel. It's complicated. A lot like computer programming, believe it or not. The mechanism that provides compressed air to the pipes of a pipe organ is called the bellows. Nowadays, you plug them in and they run on electricity, but back in the day, they had to be operated manually. So while somebody was playing the pipe organ, like Bach, somebody else would have to be moving these giant bellows up and down by hand. And it's a workout, depending on how long you have to play. The pipe organ was really the most popular during the Baroque time period. That's when J.S. Bach and George Philipp Telemann, George Friedrich Handel, composers like that were writing, and they would write a lot of music for the church, and that's mostly the only place in town that could afford a pipe organ. So a lot of them worked as church choir directors, Kapellmeister. That was Bach's main job. He was a choir master and played the organ. He's got a lot of famous pieces, right? The one we're going to listen to today is the ever popular Toccata and Fugue in D minor. He was working at a church in Mühlhausen, Germany, when he composed this, and it was probably just something he wrote for church that week. Nothing super fancy. He did this all the time. He was a very, very busy person and had a lot of kids. So let's take a listen to this. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's see. Here we go.